Hey guys, Nicole here, and I am here with my layout share for my Kit Love series. So I worked with the collection Cute Girl, added in a couple of my own supplies from my stash, but that was the basic collection that I worked with, and got a lot done with it. So really quickly, I'm going to show you what I have left and what I used up, and kind of how I'm going to disperse that into my stash. Then I'll show you the layouts that I made with the collection. So, sorry, it's kind of a mess here. I really got a lot done and used up a lot of this kit. I'm going to put these aside because these were extras that I added into the collection. So I used up half of the wood veneers and loved those. We'll just add those to my wood veneer stash. These I didn't use because they just felt too Valentine's for me. Now this collection, I loved it. I love the overall theme of it. And it had a lot of specific icons that from here on out I'll probably use for specific themes like Easter or summer or like pets, cats and things like that. And so this was one of those pieces. Some of that I was able to overlook with making some of these layouts, but with these, they just were too Valentine's for me and I didn't do Valentine's pages. So these I didn't use at all. I also didn't use at all, I did use all but one of the little rubber pieces, and of course I just didn't use that because it felt too Easter to me, so I'll just put that with my Easter stash. I didn't use any of these. I just didn't have the right layout for them, but I have lots of different options of how I want to use these, and so I'll just put these in my stash. Now these puffy stickers, if you remember, this came with 2 full sheets. So this is all I have left. And let me see if I can. So I used 1 full sheet and then almost all of it. So I did some damage to that. I'll just cut these pieces out. Like this will go my Easter stash. This will probably go my Valentine's. This will go with where I have my pet stuff, summer stuff, etc. So that one will be done. And then I have the 2 sticker sheets here, and I used just about, I would say, a good half, at least half, if not more than that, of those. And then I have the chipboard, which I also used almost all up. And a lot of these, again, were kind of more theme specific. So like these, I'll probably put in the birthday party, my area. That's again summery. I had a hard time with these little girls. They're super cute, but I did use one. I actually did one layout. There's going to be a few layouts I'm not going to show you today. One layout I did for a client, and I already gave it to her, and I used one of these cute little girls because her little girl looked just like one of them with her little pigtails. And then I did a bunch of layouts for a class, and so I'm not going to actually show you those because it's a sketch class, and I didn't want to give away the sketches by showing you all of my layouts. So there's going to be some stuff I'm not going to show you today, maybe further down the road, or someday I'll probably do like album shares and things like that. And so all my layouts, I'm sure, will end up on YouTube at some point, but some of them aren't gonna make on it today, but that's okay. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. So anyway, got most of that done. So really killed this collection. I did pull in this twine from my stash and used it, and then this is all I have left. There was I didn't use any of the sequins, but I used up a good portion of these bow clips, so I still have some of them left. And then I only have, there should be a few little heart enamel dots. Yes, I used all the enamel dots and then pulled some in from my stash. I just have those left here. And so I used up a lot. Now these loose pieces I had added in, this was the ephemera pack, and then I had 2 cut apart sheets that I added into this pile. And so this is just what's left over of those, the ephemera pack and the 2 cut apart sheets. Still quite a bit. I didn't use them as much as I thought I would, but they're cute. I'll just add them to my stash. Like this one I might just put in my Valentine's bin, and then there was a couple other kind of themed ones that I will just put into my stash and where I feel like it'll work the best. And then as far as paper, I just have these scraps here and 1 full sheet. And I had 2 of each sheet. So that's the one I have left. And I used this side with the second sheet that I had of that. So I was pretty much down to not a whole lot to work with, and I was ready to call it good. So that is what I have left. And then of course I added in some of these. I had 3 of these little sheets with gold stickers from Heidi Swap, and I used up one of them, used half of these, and I didn't end up using any of those. This I ended up pulling into the kit later just because I had a word I wanted to use here, and I just left them in the kit because black was a very prominent color in this collection. So I left it there, but I didn't end up using any more beyond that one word. And so I did use up some of my stash as well as from that collection. So I'm going to show you a few of the layouts, and then I'll just talk about the number of layouts I actually made with this kit. Even though I'm not going to show you some of them, but I'll show you the ones that I made, based on, I'm sure that these had different online. I always try to give credit if I'm doing like a scrap lift. And sometimes if like a few months have gone by or a couple months have gone by, I should do better about writing it down on the back. I believe these, I was working through maybe some Shamel videos. Now Shamel has a lot of content. She has content on her blog, she has free content on YouTube, and then she also has a lot of pay classes. And I'll be honest with you, I soak all of it in. I think I've signed up for almost all of her classes. I do check out her YouTube channel and her blog, and I scrap lift her a lot. And so I know for sure, I think this one was a Shamel scrap lift, and possibly this one as well for sure. But I couldn't tell you from which one of those places. Now I do encourage you, like I said, I love her classes. If she's your style, she's for sure my style. And so I just kind of go, and I have lots of different things that I go to for inspiration. And sometimes I just sit down and make a page. And so it's kind of a mix of both. But anyway, so these are kind of a mixture of those. I love how this one turned out just because I love the pictures, and I love that this collection had some black in it because, especially for these photos, my daughter was wearing a black coat, and she just kind of had all the colors represented here that were in this collection. She had the purple inseam to her coat, she had the pink and the turquoise, and then anyway, and this collection also had some fun princessy like crowns and things like that, and so she was wearing Rapunzel hair, and it just kind of worked out perfectly theme-wise for these photos. And just did a bunch of layering around with papers, but also with like cards and die cuts and ephemera pieces. And I used 3 of the rubber embellishments here and 3 of wood veneer. Well, these 2 wood veneers and this wood veneer I added from my stash. Used some of the gold hearts, just kind of a variety of the pieces. So that was a fun layout to make. And there were little bits of purple in this collection, not a ton, but I used a lot of it on this layout just because she had that purple in her coat, and that would work. So, okay, and then this one here, I used some of this kind of softer colors, and the photo had just a lot of grays in it, and so I used, and it also was very home themed and sister themed, and so just pulled the theme of the photo to figure out which papers and embellishments I wanted to use. And so the sister stuff worked great, the house stuff worked great, even the clouds, because the reason we were home was because we had a big old ice storm and didn't have school for a couple of days, and this card that had the houses on it with that watercolory look was fun. And so just kind of took advantage of the themes that were in the collection when I was figuring out what pictures I was going to scrapbook. And so this one is just this way and this way, kind of your backwards L, and just loved how that one turned out. Use some enamel dots and some chipboard and some of the puffy stickers there. And then this one, I really love this one just because it's very bright and colorful, and I just played off with a photo in the girls' pajamas and just did lots of fun layering and used a lot of the puffy stickers. I love these puffy houses, they're so cute. And did some journaling this way, which is kind of weird, but I like how it looks. It's kind of weird to read right to left, but that was kind of fun. Did some stamping and then did a little embellishment cluster up here. So that was a fun one to do. And then this one here as well, and this was just, again, lots of layering. And here, this was a cut apart sheet. Like all of these here were from a cut apart sheet, and I just layered them and then just journaled again just down the page. This is about my daughter getting her braces, and use some of the puffy stickers and the chipboard, or the, yeah, chipboard sticker. And then some of the puffy hearts and things. That was a lot of fun too. So I made those. That is right there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I made one for a client. So that's 5. And then I made, this should be 7 if I can count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I made 7 more here. And I'm not going to show them individually because I basically worked through the entire Ready Sketch Go Volume 3 that Tracy Claiborne and Jen Scow have. I've actually signed up for all 3 of them, and I think I've worked through almost all of them. But with this particular kit, I worked through the entire 3rd one. And the way they have it structured is that you start off, like, the first class is 1 picture, the second one's 2 pictures, then you keep moving up until you get to 7 pictures, I believe. I think it's 7. And that's perfect for a kit. And because when you start with a kit, you're starting with obviously a lot of product. You have all your papers, you have all your embellishments. And so when you're only scrapbooking 1 photo, you know, you're taking up more space on your page with those products instead of the photo in some cases. And so then as you're doing that and you're adding more and more photos, you're also getting less and less product to work with. So by the time you're on, you know, you're putting 7 photos on a page, then you're more apt to be using your scraps or strips that you have left. And it just was it was just a really nice way to work with the kit. And unfortunately, I didn't think ahead of time that me sharing my layouts would also be sharing their sketches. And so I'm trying to be really thoughtful about people who are putting, you know, their time into classes, and I don't obviously want to purposefully share any part of what their content is by showing the layouts that I made. Obviously, I would never show the sketches, but by even showing the layouts that I made, because I followed the sketches pretty darn closely. Of course, mine are different. And so what I might do from here on out, because I didn't think about it when I was doing it until I was getting ready to do the video. Then I'm like, you know, I probably shouldn't put these on YouTube because it'd be giving away basically their content. Obviously, it's my version of their content, but it would still be their content. So I think from here on out, I'm going to just really try to be mindful. If I'm doing for my Kit Love series or any of my kit videos, is to maybe just it's hard because I want to do my online classes, but I'm just going to have to know that when I do an online class, I'm not going to show that content. So I'll just, I guess, really try to maybe focus more on free content that's out there. Maybe go back to the magazines, go back to just free content from YouTube or stuff from people's blogs. And then maybe I'll just have to, if I want to do a class, I'll just have to keep those layouts to myself, because I'm such a class person. Like I do them all the time, and that's kind of how I work with my kits. Is I like to sit down and say, okay, I have this collection, and I have this class that I signed up for 6 months ago, or maybe big picture where you're always, you know, there's always new classes coming up. I really want to do this one class. I'm going to work through this class with this collection, and then, but then sharing those layouts then also comes responsibility of not giving away that content. So just trying to be mindful of that, and that gets tricky if you guys want to see my layouts, but I don't, like I said, I want to be respectful of that. And I think for the most part I have been. I think most stuff that I scrap lift is generally like stuff that's on YouTube. Like I did 2 Peas in a Bucket, you know, back when they had the YouTube channel, that was free content. Most of the stuff that I do, but or I maybe go from like big picture to Shamel to what, you know, I do a variety, and I'm showing it and saying, I try to say these are from classes, but I almost think that that's maybe not fair because those people deserve the credit, but then giving them the credit gives away their content. So it's just a tricky thing, and I'm sure it's something that we all think about. So I'll just maybe try to just focus on maybe if I'm going to be scrap lifting, because that's a big part of my scrapbooking, is scrap lifting, then I want to be better about writing it down on the back so I can properly give people credit, but making sure maybe that I'm not giving away someone else's content. So something I was thinking about, sometimes you overthink things, but I think this is one of those things that I thought about and was like, oh, I should probably consider that part of this, because I'm kind of all over the place when I'm looking for inspiration for my layouts. But I like to share my layouts, and I know you guys like to see what I make. But just know that I made, what I say, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 layouts with the Cute Girl collection, which I think is a really good amount. That's about average, usually about 10 to 12. And I didn't have a whole lot left. So anyway, I'll be back hopefully soon with a new kit to play with, and I'll be back hopefully soon to show you guys that. So thank you so much for watching, and happy scrapping. Bye-bye.